I know I predicted in March that April would be a great month for me in completing dramas, and I am happy to announce that that is absolutely correct. April, by far, hands down, the month that I've completed more dramas and movies and shows and animes than I have in any other month in 2025. This is going to be a longer video because I completed a fair number of dramas and animes and movies this past month. If you are new here, this is the video where I talk about mini reviews of everything that I have completed in the past month. That is Asian dramas, anime, shows, movies, and then I give my rating. This is a collection of everything that I have completed. You might find individual reviews of the things that I will be talking about in this video on the channel as well, with a more in-depth, detailed review. You might not, depends. In April, I completed 3 dramas, 5 movies, and 3 anime, I think. 2 or 3 anime. That's a lot for me, especially in 2025. Overall, I am very satisfied with what I watched and what I completed. Overall, liked most of everything I watched. There are a couple things that I thought were okay, and one I actually did not like at all, which I will talk about. In March, I plan to get stuff off my current watch list. In April, I attempted to do the same. I attempted to keep that plan. April, I succeeded a lot better than I did in March. I almost have a clean slate when it comes to my current watch list. Give or take another 2 weeks or so, I will have a clean slate. So that will be fun. I love when that happens because then I can add more things. We are going to start by talking about a Chinese drama that is the most recent thing that I finished. It is Scarlet Heart, the original Chinese drama. It aired in 2011. It was made in 2010. I recently, as of yesterday, completed this. I watched it on iQIYI. I think you can also watch it on Viki. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I knew I would like it, but I loved this. I loved it a lot more than I anticipated. It has been on my list forever to check out, so I'm so glad I finally was able to check it out. And I liked it better than I thought I would like it. I knew I would like it, but I liked it better than I thought. It wasn't the perfect drama whatsoever. I still had qualms with it. The age of the drama definitely shows. I mean, it doesn't have the best CGI. You can tell some of the wigs and the facial hair weren't quite set. The makeup was a little off. It shows an age. I mean, it's almost 15-year drama at this point. My camera wigged out there for a bit. I don't know what happened, but we're back. We're back. As I was saying, the age of this drama definitely shows. You can definitely tell it was made 15 years ago. Loved the costumes though. They were gorgeous. The costumes were gorgeous. I love the dynamic, the relationships between the characters and the dynamic of those relationships. I love that every character or mostly every character got a backstory. Even the support characters had somewhat of a backstory, and which made them more complex, and you cared about these characters because you knew about them. Love the story's progression from start to end. I can definitely tell why Scarlet Heart is a classic Chinese drama. I'm definitely curious about season 2. I've heard very mixed reviews, either polar opposite reviews, whether either people love it or people hate it. And that makes me curious about it because it's basically, instead of palace politics, it's company politics. And I hear there's crime involved in it too. I don't know. If you are one of these people who watch both of these, season 1 and season 2, let me know if you liked season 2 or not in the comments, because I might want to check it out because I loved season 1 so much. But I rated this a 9 out of 10, which is high praise for me. I love this one. Next, I'm going to talk about is Connection. It's a Korean drama that aired in 2024. I'm sure you guys, if you listen to the podcast episodes, you have heard me talk about this. This is by far one of my favorite Korean dramas that aired in 2024. It's a great crime Korean drama. This is a rewatch for me. I'm rewatching this for a podcast episode review. I watched it on Viki. As I said, I love this Korean drama, so I'm very glad I'm rewatching it. I don't rewatch things a lot except for podcast episodes, so the fact that I'm still liking this as much as I did the first time around tells me it's a good crime drama. I still stand by what I thought of my first review. It's by far my favorite Ji-sung role that I've watched. I haven't seen all of his dramas. It's phenomenal in the acting department. I think the entire cast did a great job in the acting department. There was a tiny twist at the end that I wish wasn't there. I did not think it was necessary, which brought my rating down a bit. It's written well, has lots of twists, lots of tension, lots of great cliffhangers. It was agony watching this as it aired last year. Still like The Found Family. I agree with my original review of this. Still an amazing crime Korean drama. Highly recommend this if you have not seen Connection, and I rated this a 9.5 out of 10. First watch and second watch. Love and Destiny is the other Chinese drama that I completed in April. Also the third drama I completed in April. This is a 2019 Chinese drama. I watched it on Viki. Another drama I liked more than I thought I would. I love the main couple in this. I know other people might not feel the same about that, but I love the main couple. I also like the second couple, which is rare for me. I usually don't like second couples. It depends. But I was surprised I liked the second couple. Did not like the third couple, though. Or what I perceived would be the third couple. Did not like them. I thought they had two really nice couples to follow along in this. I thought the drama turned some of the tropes that you get in Shansha dramas on its head, which was fun to watch. It still was the trope, but it was unique and different, in my opinion. I also did not care for some of the side characters in this. And then this drama also had multiple villains. One of the villains worked out really well for me. I loved him. I loved his journey. I liked how gray his character was. The other villain I found very cliche. If you watch a lot of Shansha, the villain tropes of a Shansha drama, she fit that trope. And so I found her character very cliche. Some people might agree with that. Some people might disagree with that. I was kind of half and half on the villains. One I liked, one I did not like. She wasn't horrible, though. I wouldn't say I disliked her. I just found her to be cliche. Especially when you watch as many Shansha dramas as I have, you want something different when it comes to the villains. She was not different for me. It was way too long. There are way too many episodes, in my opinion. If you are curious about a more in-depth review of this, I have a podcast episode out for Love and Destiny as well, and I rated this an 8.5 out of 10. Next, we're going to get into Studio Ghibli movies. I have a more in-depth review of these movies on the channel already, so you can go and check that out. I'll just be skimming through them as like a reminder of what I thought about them and my ratings for this video. If you want a more in-depth review of all of them, you can go and check that video out. The first Studio Ghibli movie I checked out was Only Yesterday. I watched all of these on HBO Max. I rated this a 7 out of 10. This is a slice of life movie. Slice of life is not for me. It's not a genre I particularly like. I thought this movie was okay. I've seen better, right? There were lots of nostalgia in this, which I enjoyed. There were some interesting topics brought up, which I thought were more interesting because I was watching this in 2025, and this movie was made in the 90s, I think. To have these topics brought up like farming and organic food, and to be watching that in 2025 was interesting to me. The different animations between when the main character was an adult versus when she was a child was neat. Again, though, the slice of life was just not for me. I rated this a 7 out of 10. Next Studio Ghibli movie that I completed was Porco Rosso. This was also another movie I had never seen. I was impressed by this one because I didn't really know what to expect. It was a lot heavier in the topics than I thought it would be. Like it talked about war, it talked about survivor's guilt. I wasn't anticipating that. Beautifully animated, in my opinion. I loved the feminist message through it all. Wild to be watching this in 2025 from someone who lives in the United States. And I'm not going to spoil why. In my other video I did, but it was wild for me to be watching this in 2025, given the subject matter of post-World War II or World War I. That was wild for me because it was politically a lot of different conversations going on in this movie. I was impressed because I didn't know what to expect. I gave this a 9 out of 10. Another Studio Ghibli movie that I watched was Ocean Waves. I did not like this one. This is the one thing I did not like. The animation was nice. It was nostalgic. It was charming. There was no story. It was slice of life. Again, that does not work for me, but Even beyond that, I didn't like it. I did not like the female lead in this. The female lead was horrible, in my opinion. She manipulated everybody around her. She treated the male lead like a doormat. I just could not understand how the male lead got a crush on her other than the fact that she was pretty. And for me, you need more than that for me in a romance movie. The romance that supposedly was going to happen by the end, I couldn't get behind it. I didn't believe it because her character was so horrible throughout the movie, in my opinion. I mean, it made no sense why the male lead liked her or anything that culminated from him liking her in the story. I gave this a 3 out of 10. That was Ocean Waves. I did not like that movie. 2 more Studio Ghibli movies. Pom Poko. I was expecting a cute movie from this, which I still got in parts, but overall, it was a lot darker than I assumed it was going to be. Had a deeper message, especially an environmental message. Again, I should know by now with Studio Ghibli movies that there's always a deeper message with these things. I was just not expecting that. I also was not expecting that I cannot remember the name of them now. I thought they were raccoons. They're not raccoons. There's another name for them that I talk about in my other video. But I was not expecting a magical element or folklore having to do with this. I expecting just like about a raccoon family, which I was completely wrong about. I talk about this in my other video. I liked that there was a magical element and it was rooted in folklore, Japanese folklore. But because I had no knowledge of that folklore, some of the things that were done in the movie I thought were weird until I went and researched the folklore, and then I realized why. I wish I had done that research before this movie. I might have liked it more. I still liked it a lot, but I might have liked it more. Also, again, was not anticipating the environmental message, but it would have had a big environmental message. I rated this a 9 out of 10 for Pom Poko. Last Studio Ghibli movie I watched was Whispers of the Heart. I love this movie. I love this movie. It was another film I had not seen. I loved how it was a coming of age story that had a bit of magic, a bit of whimsy to it. I normally, again, do not like coming of age stories, but when you add fantasy to it, I like it a lot more. The girl's imagination was beautiful to watch. It was beautifully animated. It had a lot of color to it. It was fun. I did think the ending and the confession at the ending was a bit rushed. I wish there was a little more pacing on the second half that would have helped that out a bit. I love both of the leads. I thought their relationship and the progression of their relationship was nice to watch. And I also like that they supported each other's ambitions. They didn't hold each other back, really. This was a surprising one for me because I did not think I was going to like it, but it was nice. I rated this a 9 out of 10 for Whispers of the Heart. I completed 2 more things and they were both anime. Both of them should not be surprising at this point of me liking them. I completed Solo Leveling Season 2. I thought Season 2 was just as good as Season 1. I love the continuation of the male lead, like his story, and him getting stronger in Season 2. The fight scenes were just as good as season 1, if not better. And they got even more intense. Like every episode, I found myself thinking, they can't top this episode. And then they did. I don't even want to know what they have planned in season 3. I have not read any of the source material for Solo Leveling or any of the anime, really. I have no idea what's coming down the pipeline for this anime. It was insane. The animation was insane. The fight scenes were insane. I do wish we got some more information on some of the side characters, but there were a lot of characters in season 2, so I understand why you couldn't provide like a rich backstory on all of the side characters. Maybe in the manhwa they did. I had some questions on some of the side characters of like, oh, I wish I had known this. I hated watching this as it aired. I will never watch an anime as it airs ever again because the cliffhangers were killer. I was dying. I'm definitely going to be binging anime instead of waiting for an episode weekly. I rated Solo Leveling Season 2 a 9 out of 10. And last but not least, I completed Ameku MD Doctor Detective. I also rated this a 9 out of 10. I watched both of these on Crunchyroll, if you did not know. I knew I was going to like this the minute I saw the trailer, so I'm not surprised I rated this a 9 out of 10. I'm a crime girly at heart. I love anime. I love Korean, Chinese, any dramas that have to do with crime. This was right up my alley. This is a mix of Sherlock Holmes and House. If you like either one of those shows, you will like this anime. It was a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting the Sherlock Holmes and House angle either. Some of the cases were a little predictable, some were not. especially because they leaned more into the medical mysteries than the crime mysteries, in my opinion. I wish there was more of a balance of that because I am a crime person. My background is crime. I do have a degree in criminal justice. I like playing along. I like guessing. Couldn't really guess a lot of the time when it came to the medical mysteries. I had more of a chance when it came to the crime stuff. I was very impressed. I actually did predict one of the medical mysteries. I was very pleased with myself in that. I wish there was more of a balance of that, though. But I do understand why, because she is a doctor. I do understand why there was more medical mysteries in this anime versus crime mysteries. It's more of like a selfish thing than anything. I love the found family, and I love the family dynamics of this show. I hope we get a season 2. I'm praying we get a season 2 because I enjoyed this so much. I want a season 2 just to be re-immersed into the world again and get more mysteries and maybe find out a little more and a little background on our main character because they touched on that a little bit. Some of the backstories of the main characters weren't really discussed a lot. They touched on it. So there's definitely story material there to make a season 2 for sure. I gave this a 9 out of 10. And that is it. That is everything that I have completed in April 2025 with my ratings, where I watched them. Let me know if you enjoy this type of video. Let me know if you watched any of these things and you agree or disagree with my quick reviews and my ratings. If you completed anything in April, write in the comments. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.